Hey guys, check out how I took Phantom from this to this in one session.
I was gone for over a week on winter holidays, and when I came back, I received a message that Phantom was lame, and it sounded like it was on the same leg with the small cut I had purchased her with, and I had treated the whole first week and didn't really think was a big deal.
There it is. Definitely worse than when I left it, that's for sure. Looks like it's blown up. Okay, Phantom, let's see what this leg is doing for you, girly. Oh yeah, you're definitely a lot more tender on that. Oh, jeez. Okay. Yes, we are very lame on that. Oh, what happened, Phantom? Oh. Jeez.
It definitely was a big deal. Poor girl.
Yeah, this is sad. I know it's painful. This is where you wish you could just totally speak their language. Winter first aid, no fun. No fun when you don't have a barn. Wash rack. Because I would say like probably what it was is like I was keeping it open by cleaning it.
Yeah.
And then it's definitely scabbed over, but I think I maybe opened it, but I'm guessing she probably should just have a round of antibiotics.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's infected.
It's better to be safe.
Yeah, I'd rather just be safe. Probably done as much as she's gonna tolerate. Okay, I'll just put the betadine on it now. Okay, so after putting the iodine on, so it's not blood, that's iodine. You can see, yeah, it's fairly swollen around the cornet band there.
I wrap up my first aid treatment by applying some wraps on her legs. The wrap on her injured leg, of course, will provide compression and reduce swelling. And then also on the other 3 legs that are supporting the injury and then are also prone to strain and swelling.
And I'm just waiting to hear back from the vet to see if we can get her on some antibiotics and maybe some painkillers.
Because the vets couldn't come out on such short notice yesterday, I just wrapped her and had hoped that by cleaning it and wrapping she'd feel better, and her walking's a lot better actually.
So she starts off pretty tender, but then she's actually then progressing to walking a lot better than yesterday. So that shows that by just coming home and cleaning it yesterday, that helped her feel a lot more comfortable. This is where I get to freeze my hands. A little penicillin.
I inject her here. She handled that really, really well. You never know what they're gonna do the first time you inject them. She was great. And then I'll follow this up with some Butte, and the 2 combined should really help manage her pain. Oh man, and then being in minus 30 million Canada weather, everything you have to be so quick because everything's gonna freeze. So I have that penicillin stuffed in my jacket, and then I have to go to my car and get coffee mugs full of hot water.
I'll be doing this daily for the next week or so.
Since I've had this training setback, which is the story of my life, every vacation I go on, I know I'm going to come back to some kind of disaster like this, an injury or something that's gone wrong. So now our training, what I had in my mind is of course sidetracked, as it always is.
I'm clearly really discouraged here, guys, but our best plans often get thrown off, so I need to adapt and create a new training plan that still targets her key needs. So while I'm giving her her Butte, which is a horse version of painkiller, I'm going to explain my plan. First up is going to be hitting that anxiety. She has become even more herd-bound after 2 weeks of bonding with her herd and over a week of not having me around to work with her, which means I'm going to work on her mindset and relaxation so that by next week, when she's sound, she's ready to learn instead of staying in that defensive, anxious state.
It's interesting because she's still looking out the door, but if you notice, I brought a friend in here for her so that I could give her her Butte in an environment that she feels comfortable. So notice said friend, how calm he is. This has no influence on her. So even though he's standing there like that, she's standing here like this. Okay, this is a phantom tantrum. This is a phantom tantrum. Belle, what would you like to say to Phantom right now? She's like, seriously? What are you doing with your life? So one day, Belle, you're really getting in my video. One day, she'll stand like that 1 second there where her head was down, and you can pretend she was relaxed. It's okay, Phantom. You'll learn. Yeah, it's okay. You don't need to be a rock star over there.
This may seem difficult to change, but don't worry, it will.
First step is knowing that this is natural horse behavior, that they are keyed to survive and stay with a herd. And the longer the horse is with a herd and not in a human world learning how to behave, the more they are learning to act like this.
Actually, it's probably good that I'm wearing my helmet. She's very likely to poke me in the head.
So what I've been doing while her brain and body are going all over the place is simply redirecting her attention to areas of her body where she seems the most tight. And when we can draw a horse's attention to areas of tension, they will naturally think about those areas and then want to release tension. And then that starts a good feedback loop where the horse becomes aware of the tension that they are ignoring because they're busy looking outside or whatever they're doing. And then they release the tension. And so eventually it becomes to the point where you just touched area and they go, oh yes, I'm tense there, release.
So she often does this where she does like kind of check in, but it's almost like go away. And she's not looking for cookies because she doesn't actually know how to eat a cookie. She was never fed cookies. And I was told that by her owner, and I've tried multiple times to give her a cookie. No, she's not gonna have it.
What do you think about when you have those 20-minute stretches? Like, is it hard to like keep the vibe, stay patient, stay in the right frame of mind yourself?
Used to be, definitely. Like, I know I've come from a place of, like being quick to frustration. Recognizing that I'm clearly getting angry, didn't ever like fix this problem, and then in the end you would just go home feeling terrible that you did like lose your temper, and then getting to the point where you're like, hey, I have to try something else. And then I've had enough successes with patient and slow versus like trying to force things and then getting angry. I think forcing and anger kind of go together. Like, she's trying to communicate with me, and I think too, like, seeing that, like, in the end, changing my mindset too, that like it's not the horse doing this to you or to me. It's what they've learned, and they figured out this is how I'm gonna go around my environment, and this is how I deal with feelings that are not so good. And so then it just is not, it's not personal. And I feel like, a little bit sorry for them, I guess. This is what they think is gonna be effective. More compassion, I guess. I think too, I'm like looking for the tiniest improvement. Like, and if I see the tiniest improvement, I'm excited versus like, I need to make a huge leap and a bound. And then knowing that you make these tiny improvements within the session, and then you come back the next day and you're impressed at how much that stuck for the horse.
It's also a little bit blizzardy.
Yeah, that probably adds to it too, that the weather's changed. Good girl. So she's come in here.
It's creaking and popping all around.
Yeah, she wouldn't have heard that. Good girl. Because now it is interesting that she's anxious, but she also is starting to look to me a lot too.
Yeah.
When I brought her in and I did a bunch of this, and then she relaxed, she did a huge stretch. She went like right down. Remember, were you there when she stretched my first daughter? She did a huge stretch. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. This is way better. Yeah, that's better. Much more movement there. Good girl. Yeah, you can see the right hind's a lot more stable. Good. Okay, so now I'll just work on some mobility on this left hind.
Today is mobility day. I'm going to stretch the tight muscles, and then I'm going to activate the muscles that are really not doing their job. We all know what it feels like to stretch tight muscles. It can be uncomfortable, and so there's often a lot of resistance in the start. So this is where I get my workout. You also need to be really careful when you're working with the horse. And make sure you always are in a position that you're not in the way if they were to throw a kick.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. She's really tender at the point of her buttocks here. So watch the left hind. So I'm going to try to lift the right hind without the left hind rotating and twisting on the ground. Good.
This is an example of where I'm working on the muscles that have been switched off and are not doing their job, those stabilizer muscles. As I go between stabilizing and stretching, she begins to relax like this. It is so satisfying to see your horse feel comfort and then go, hey, what are you doing, human? You're actually making me feel comfortable.
Some nice, relaxed muscles. Good.
Let me slow this down so you can see what a relaxed muscle looks like. A relaxed muscle should undulate and move like this, like jelly when you press upon it. This is a great test to check with your horses to see which muscles are relaxed and which ones are tense.
Oh yeah, good, look at that. Good girl. It's just a spa day when you come in here, hey? Yeah, got anything like this.
Here I'm swaying her side to side slowly, indicating two things, both that she's relaxed and that she's got movement through her whole spinal column.
Hey, yeah, good girl.
What I don't do for my horses. The road conditions where you just kind of make your best guess as to where the road is. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm in a hurricane. Just another beautiful Saskatchewan day. You know, I love when the wind is blowing the snow at the perfect angle that just goes straight into my eyeballs. I forgot to wear my waterproof mascara too. What was I thinking? Not on a day like today. Good thing you guys have blankies on, hey? Yeah? Oh, yeah. That wind is just blowing across the ball prairies. This is when I wish I had an office job, but this is the career I've chosen. So I don't let weather stop me. I made a commitment, and come hell or high water, I will be out minus 30 and a 80-kilometer-an-hour wind chill. I'm gonna guarantee that horses don't love this weather either, especially when I have to convince them to walk into the direction of the snow blowing into their eyeballs. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry, Phantom. I'm sorry. But you know what? Once we're inside, it's good.
In blustery storm day, it's natural that they're going to be hyped because now the building, not being insulated, is making a lot of sounds with the snow hitting it. And there's even people shoveling. There's a tractor running outside. So there's a lot going on that she's having to figure out. That and I haven't worked with her for a week. So we had the initial week, and then she had a week off, over a week off while I was on holidays, and then she's had another nearly full week off here with the injury, and just giving her some time for that little cut to kind of close over before I start working her in the sand. So today it's going to be how to regulate oneself in an environment that there's a lot going on. And then I'll do a little bit of footwork.
In addition to monitoring the space between her and I, she also needs to be comfortable with me on both sides of her. She is used to being on my right side. Watch what happens when I try to lead her off my left.
Yeah, wants to be on the right side. There, yes. Good. Just remind her. Yes.
Throughout the groundwork, I'm saying, and relax. So you'll see I do frequent stops and repositions so she has better balance, and sometimes I'll point out areas of tension.
Because the body and the mind are connected. Relax in the mind shows in the body. Relax in the body shows in the mind. And I just go back and forth between the two based on where I'm going to get the best result.
Notice and proceed.
I can slowly begin to advance the pole work now that she has a better understanding of how to follow me. And you can see each time she goes through, she gets better. Pole work is foundational to starting a horse in the jumping world. Not only does it build strength, but when used wisely and in a systematic way, it can teach them the proper technique and can improve any dysfunction in their natural born technique.
You know, I think we have to leave it there because this is like the most relaxed stillness that we found.